You're constantly on the go. You don't know how to stop. You just don't know what to do, because if you stopped, what would happen? You don't feel safe. In fact, you don't even understand you don't feel safe. You just know you've got on this treadmill of go, 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 striving and doing. That is both in your personal life and in the business world, or if you have your own business, you just keep going. I'm Chantal, psychotherapist and Reiki master at Unfold Your Freedom. And it took me a long time to work this out. And finally, the penny dropped when my own therapist supported me, when I realized that I had this constant sense of urgency happening for me, having experienced trauma and complex PTSD. But I didn't get that, because also in our world of doing, it is seen as a badge of honor. I am busy. I am doing. Look at me. We actually don't know how to get off and care for ourselves. That means being selfish. That means we're being lazy. We're constantly doing, particularly with social media and our mobiles being accessible and all the pings and that. We just don't know how to stop. We don't know how to stop. And for those of you who have been through trauma or something really powerful that's changed your life, it actually can be really scary to stop. Now, I noticed for me as well, even though I teach mindfulness and meditation and tapping and all those things, I worked out a while ago, quite a few years ago now, that even when I was sitting quietly, I was still doing. I still had this sense of urgency to get it done, to work out what was wrong with me. I had to find out what was wrong with me. I had this obsession in me to keep going. I didn't know how just to go, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to pause and breathe, because I wanted so much to feel better. I wanted to feel better, and I didn't know how to slow down. And I'm going to actually take you through a video. Next video is going to be what you can do. So do you find that every second of your day is filled up, and you don't know how you got to the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month? It's just constant, even on the weekend. You don't know how to switch off from work or your business, you're right with family. Or what about taking some time to just simply pause and breathe? Because you go from one task to the other, one task to the other. You don't even have a circuit breaker. One way to do that, hand on your heart or on your body, pause, that gives you a circuit breaker, okay? So everything becomes urgent. Living, exercising, doing, breathing. Can you feel my voice? It's already going like that. You feel like you just got to keep getting things done. But there's always more to do, you know? And what happens is then you start making mistakes. You forget things. You forget where you put things. You don't turn up to things. You run late. See, can you hear my voice? There's that urgency happening. There's that constantly going, okay? Also, what you do is you eat too fast. You don't go to the toilet. You don't eat well. Everything is fast until you slow down, till you take that time. Hear me? Only then do you realize how on edge your body is, how it's constantly ready to go. It's on this alert from the moment you get out of bed to the moment you go to bed. And in fact, it can be at night time, because I know for me, I still have panic attacks or nightmares or dreams, or I'd wake up because my body just didn't know how to slow down and feel safe. Feel safe, okay? So if you want to know more about these different things, and I just did a video beforehand on I've just gone blank, is there life after trauma, and I talk a little bit about this as well. So, you know, subscribe and go and have a look and see how else you can support yourself. Now, what I found was, for me, comes from a base of fear. So when I talk to you, I also want you to be aware this is from my own experience. It's for educational purposes only. It's to give you some ideas. So if you find anything resonates, do reach out. Do get help, because that's what it's all about. You don't need to do it alone. You don't, okay? And I know for me, it came from a base of fear. And therefore, I felt impatient. You get on edge. You feel irritable. You're moody. You have swings in your moods. One minute you're all out there. The next minute you want to hide. So all these things comes from a matter of urgency, from that base of fear. Just hear me, base of fear. I didn't feel safe within me, let alone in the world, okay? So what happens is you do need to get clarity. So you need to find your way of doing it. So for me, it was meditation, Reiki, tapping, obviously therapy, working with the chakras, and that's everything, as I mentioned, I already do here. Because once you start getting clarity and understanding, that is when you can start doing the reframe. That is when the transformations start. And it's personal to you. You need to find ways that work for you, okay? That'll support your anxiety and that'll support your restlessness, okay? So I'm just checking my notes, because I always use notes, because that's part of my, what is left over from trauma is my concentration isn't always very good, nor is my focus. So I have notes, okay? You see, and here's another one. I mentioned earlier, eat too fast, talk too fast. I did that too. So there's no space in between, like words, even in your breath, tasks that you're doing, okay? You feel constricted, you feel tense, you're on edge. So you have those niggly little pains, aches and pains, you're constantly not feeling well, you're feeling stiff and sore in your body. You're on high alert, constantly on alert, and you just don't realize how much that is. And that's why I love the work that I'm doing now. What's been also taught for me is how to come into our bodies, okay? How to start listening to the importance of our bodies, our inner wisdom, because it's all there. We've just lost sight of it, okay? And the last thing I'll say is what happens is you act rashly, you act from knee-jerk, okay? Rather than, and you make unwise decisions. Because it just comes. You don't pause and breathe. You don't pause and go, okay, I just need to take a moment about this. Is this right for me? Okay. So I have got one more thing. I'm sorry. We'll keep going. Time scarcity. There's always a fear of the future. You need to get it all done now because there might not be a future because you can't see the future. All right. I couldn't for a long time. I didn't even get that. I couldn't see the future. I was just too busy in the here and now. You know, you constantly checking your watch, you get terribly impatient, you can't wait any. I know at one point I went somewhere and I had to wait. I walked out irritable, but it was because I was in anxiety. I didn't have the patience just to be there and keep feeling safe, okay? As I said, everything has to be done now, ASAP, all at once, if not yesterday. Tell me if you can relate to that, because I can still be like that. It takes a lot to be able to just go, it's meant to happen when it's meant to happen, okay? And very little attention span. That's why I have my notes, as I mentioned. You get tired, you get drained because you're forever thinking, doing, trying to remember. What else? Heavy, and you drag yourself around. Okay, now I'm going to pause and breathe. Let me know if that anything relates to you. As I said, subscribe. I'm going to do a meditation tapping on this. So you might like to hear about that, because it's not about only getting all the learning. It's about also feeling it into your body to be able to turn it around. Thank you for watching.